Hey everyone, welcome back to Dwayne and Nidia, Food, Travel and Fun. And today we're going to do some jarring. I got lucky and found some Portuguese peppers from a person I work with who happens to also have a farm. This is a bushel, which is about 9 gallons of these peppers. I've gone through it once and taken out the ones that really weren't appropriate for canning, and I have to go back through it again and clean them. There's still some dirt on them that they really need to be cleaned up nicely before we start to actually put them in jars. And you also don't want, anything that's rotten, anything that's really weird shape that doesn't pack well, we leave out. So I'm going to go through a little bit of process, cleaning them up a bit more. I'm going to fill the sink with these, and I have also started other parts of this, including getting the jars themselves ready, which I'll show you in a minute. They're in the oven. They are actually doing their sterilization. We've already done. This is strictly just water and vinegar that's in here right now. 24 cups of vinegar, 36 cups of water, and that is all our lids, and which I boil off for about. They've been sitting in there. I boiled them for like 20 minutes, and they're just sitting in the boiling water. I'll drain that off as needed. I like to do the jars dry because it's easier than using a pressure cooker and have to dry them all up afterwards anyways. So that's pretty much the setup. We got a few other ingredients. There's very few ingredients. I think there's 3 ingredients. There's salt, sugar, and garlic cloves, and that's about it. So.
And vinegar.
Well, along with the vinegar and water. Yeah, but there's only 3 other ingredients. So here's our 9 gallons of peppers, which hopefully we get to use most of them. And there you go. We'll start setting it up. There we go. Sink full of peppers.
That's a lot of pepper. And these are getting so hard to find. I've been trying every supermarket. Well, I have to go to Portugal and see. But everybody says there's a shortage. And even at the Portuguese restaurants, when I order my Portuguese steak, I used to always ask for some extra red hot finger peppers. And they can't get it either.
So here we go. So I'm going to push to one side, and I'm going to clean and move them to the other side, and then we'll go right into the jars.
Okay.
So that's the goal. And this is going to take a while, so I'm going to cut all these off, shorten them. All right, so basically for our cleaning, it's real simple. We're going to cut the stems nice and short. Cold water. We're going to stick with cold water for the whole thing. Make sure it's nice, wiped down. We only want nice, healthy peppers, no bad spots on them, down to there. And then that's it. We're going to cut that off. Make sure we give them a nice wipe, get nice and clean. We don't want any dirt going in. If I find a little guy like this, I might save him, put him aside for now, but I'm not going to focus on using that one, because it really doesn't pack. You want to pack these jars tightly when we do it. So you want them packed nice and tight. And this is just kind of get us started on a cleaning. Sometimes the stems are already so short we don't have to cut them. And it just gets a nice clean base started. I'm making this pile while the jars are finishing off sterilizing. And then that's it. We'll have a pile here. We get the jars out of the sterilization, which is about 5 more minutes. Jars cool off enough so that we can actually touch them and jam these in without getting burned, and then we'll switch over and start doing the rest of the process.
Okay.
So we're going to work together. We'll warp speed through this and get a bunch of this done while you guys watch. Nidia, I'm going to give you the scissors. Your job is mostly going to be
stems.
Cut the stems. Take them, look at them, look for rot spots, look for bad spots. If the stem's real short like that, I'm just going to take it. Like that one, same thing. We're just going to take it. The thing is, you don't want to, if you find
like this,
black, rotten, this is not good. I mean, this pepper is useful for other things, but not for canning. It's got to be a beautiful pepper to can. Yeah, it can be, a little nub is okay, but what you did is perfect. So, all right, we're gonna warp speed. All right, so you just added 2 cups of salt. Right, and now
I'm going to add 1.5 of sugar.
That's almost a cup.
Yep. And I'm going to add just about
So a little more salt than sugar. I'm fine with that as well. I mean,
Now we
some
can
recipes say even amounts, but I think we prefer to lean towards
The salty
more
versus
salty than, yeah, sweet. This has been going for a while. We're gonna have to turn it up a little higher because it's still hasn't boiled. You can turn it right up. Yeah.
Yep.
This has been on for a long time, but it's huge. There's a ton in there.
Smells like vinegar, that's for sure.
And that's it. I'm gonna mix it up for a minute, let it dissolve down. Let's say, yeah, nice. It's got a good salty bit to it. The sugar isn't overpowering at all, so
I think that's the right
I think
amount. The
you're
ratio
good.
is pretty much.
Back to cleaning peppers.
Okay, so look at these beautiful peppers that we have shoved into these jars, and some of them were so funky, twists and turns and long and extra big and wide, that we tried to keep a nice balance between whole peppers and pepper strips. And then just in these little jars, we just took out most of the seeds and cut them into strips.
Well, you can see them in the sink.
Yep. Let me show you how some of them are cut in half. And I would say 90% of it is de-seeded or seeded. And now comes the time for the actual pickling. Hopefully we can find some spot with a chopstick to put the garlic clove in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get going.
I'm gonna fill them. Then I'm gonna slide them over to you, and you put the cap on, and it'll go.
Get some paper towels. There we go. Oh, see how the pepper just smooths down.
Oh, that one wasn't.
Do you want me to seal them? No,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Just
You can do a loose fit for now. Yeah. Taking quite a bit of liquid in each one.
And before we did add the vinegar, sugar, salt mix, we did put either 2 for the bigger jars or 1 for the smaller cloves of garlic. It does smush down the pepper a bit once the hot pickling juice gets in.
These jars where it's sliced takes a lot of liquid.
Yeah, but that's what we need. That's what we like. I bet you there's going to be a difference in the flavor.
There's 2 cups. Let's see how much this one uses. Because it's going into a 2-cup mason jar.
And it's only got so much pepper in it to displace everything, so.
And you got to fill it less than half, just a little bit below the lid, half an inch. It used at least a cup and a half for that one. And I know I'm gonna do one of these just to do it. This has pretty much all whole
I like the whole pepper ones
peppers
too.
in it, but there's a lot of air space in there.
Yeah,
so
I love that.
They're
about
not
that.
jammed in there tight. So this is a 24 ounce, which is more than the 16 I just did.
Yep.
And even that used about the same amount. So, because those are whole.
Oh, wrong. Wait a minute.
Oh, here's, no, it's this.
Okay, I was going to say that one didn't fit.
It doesn't fit at all. Nope.
All right.
I was just testing a bigger one. I wanted to see how much liquid it took. So that's it. That is really the process. At this point, fill them to about half inch or a little less than half inch from the top.
Loosely.
Put them on loosely
that
at first. What we're going to do, I'll show you the one next step that does go in. A little snug. Yep, that's good. Before you fully snug it, you go upside down to ensure your seal and to kill off any bacteria that may be at the top. You bring it back up and do a final snug. And then you let it cool. This lid, if the popper should drop down as it cools off and the air space shrinks, and you have your ready to go. So that's what. So after you've done your slight snug, flip it, for a few seconds. Let it sit upside down. There you go. 5 seconds or so. That one's done. Now flip it back and give it a final tighten. A nice snug tight, and put those aside. Actually, I'll give you this tray.
The tray for the finished ones.
And you can put the finished ones right on the tray. You know, and we'll keep going. And that's our process. We're just going to work our way through all of this. And it take about 9 or 10 days for this particular recipe for them to be prepared. But yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of your minimum time. Giving it 2 weeks, no harm done. You know, some things are worth the wait.
This will be worth the wait.
This, give it your 2 weeks, you won't go wrong. The flavor will really be there. Like I said, it's got that nice bite from the vinegar and some salt, and you got a little bit of sweetness we added in there. And the only other thing is that garlic. And there you go. This is a nice, simple, it's a lot of prep. It's a lot of little steps, it's a lot of prep work, but there's nothing hard about it.
No.
Bit time consuming. Supplies. You gotta have all your mason jars. Lots of mason jars, especially for the size batch we're working with. So, there you go. A couple more lids for you. And let me stop here for a sec as I get a little organized for the big ones. And I think that's probably it for now.
We'll just show you when
We'll
the
show
spread
you
is
when
done.
it's done and we'll close up.
Okay, and there's the finished product. 43 jars of pickled peppers, some whole peppers with seeds inside, and some were cut into strips and put into smaller jars. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, this is Dwayne and Nadia, Food, Travel, and Fun.